On this exact day, 3 years ago, we started an incredible journey that took us from the warm tropical islands of Southeast Asia to the freezing wonderland of Toronto, Canada.
Right before we left, we posted a video on our channel and left all of you hanging by not following through.
We're moving to Canada! Yay!
That is, until today.
At the end of this video, we'll show you what happened the past 36 months. All the triumphs, challenges, first times, victories, love, milestones, and yes, even the despair that we've experienced.
So come along as we take you on our journey, looking back at those 1,096 days in Canada so far. A journey that can only be described as Seasons of Love.
If you're asking why we're wearing robes,
We are currently in Whitby, Ontario.
we're at a spa and it's freezing cold.
Yeah,
So our story begins in 2022, also known as the Summer to Remember. That was basically the year when we packed our lives back in the Philippines and flew all the way to Toronto, Canada to start our new chapter here.
Yeah, and we explored the city. It was time to discover a new home. One thing I remember is we bought 2 bikes because we're trying to save
We didn't have money.
So we used that to go around the city and discover a lot of parks, beautiful parks.
Yeah, I remember we would just like pack lunch, get our bags, and go to the nearest park, and that's basically our idea of a date then.
We were most frugal during that
Yes.
time of year.
Because we were just living off of our savings. But that was also the year when I started my postgraduate studies, and that was the year when you first got your first job.
Yeah, I got my first job here in Canada in advertising also. It was a contract job for July to December.
And it was remote, like you were.
It was remote. I was supporting the Halifax office, so for the summertime.
Yeah. So because he got a job, we were able to like
Breathe a
splurge
little.
and breathe a little.
Take Uber here and there.
Because we had money now. But that was also a very unforgettable year for us because towards the end of the year, I finally got my US visa after so many rejections back in the Philippines. And that allowed us to fly over to San Francisco and get married. That's what we came to Canada for. We fulfilled it in San Francisco. The plan was originally gonna be here, but fate intervened and allowed us to do that in San Francisco.
Yeah, I think it was the universe message. At least we got to spend that special moment with my family also.
Yes, we got to get married around relatives, and while our other friends and family watched back home. So, yeah, that was definitely a great year and something that we will never forget. And we're so glad that we were able to, on our first year here, it was really starting on a positive note. So now that we've recapped 2022, we're now going to move over to 2023, which is fall.
Okay, now we're at 2023, the year of transitions and transformations. I distinctly remember this year we celebrated our anniversary, which was our first anniversary here in Canada, at this restaurant called The Keg. And it's one of like the fanciest restaurants here in Toronto. Like we ordered steak, drank wine and everything. And the only reason we were able to afford going there was because you got your...
I also transitioned to the client side, which means I'm able to get a little bit more money.
Yeah, so we had a lot of money that year. And that was, you've been in advertising for so long, and that was the first time you transitioned to the brand side.
Yep, and To me, it's a leap of faith because when I saw the opening, it's also multicultural, so perfect fit. And in their job description, they're looking for someone who can speak Tagalog, and that's my way in.
Yeah. That year, also a lot of our friends got married, so they transitioned from being single to being married, and
Our
Q Minnie, our
had
little
her
girl,
paid
she got
procedure.
paid that year, so she transitioned from.
Someone who can bear a child too. No.
She's now a trans dog.
Oh.
So yeah, that one of the biggest milestones that year was I graduated from my postgraduate studies here. All of the pressure is now gone. I try to enjoy my free time after graduation, just taking it all in slowly and while still hunting for my first job here after graduation. One of the biggest things as well was when you got your driving license.
Yes, perfect timing because since you're no longer studying, we have a ton of time to go around. And I remember the first thing we did was rented a car, a Mini
A
Cooper.
Mini Cooper.
Went
yes.
to Barrie,
Mountain.
Blue Mountain.
Yes.
And one thing we realize is having a car here in Canada, even public transportation is okay. You get to do a lot of things, no?
Exactly. What was your overall impression of that year?
Financially, it's good. Psychologically, it's more of me surviving.
Had a lot of mental breakdown, mentally ease that
Yeah,
year.
everyone has their own struggles.
It's not super good, but it's also not super bad.
We're pretty blessed, I'd say. Even it's a tough year.
So anyway, that was year 2023, a year full of transformations and transitions for us. And now we're gonna move on to the next season, which is winter. And now we've made it to 2024, which we'd like to call the winter
Of despair.
So, a lot of things happened that year, but it started in the first quarter. It was
Yeah.
a very challenging start to the new year because during that time, I lost my first full time job opportunity because I was gonna go become a manager for this pet store, but unfortunately, it didn't pan out. And then a few weeks after, something worse, even worse happened.
Because I lost my full-time job. I got laid off as part of massive structuring of the company. It was pretty devastating, but at the same time, I'm more relieved because I was so stressed
Yes, it
during
was
the
a
entire
very
period.
It was, like he said, very devastating. We were very lost after that happened because you were our main source of income, and now we didn't have anything. We didn't have any money to spend. After that happened, I really sent hundreds of job applications everywhere until
Even at night,
eventually.
actually.
Yeah, until eventually I landed a job a few months after. Thankfully, we were able to breathe a sigh of relief.
Oh my god, thank goodness, universe.
Yeah, so even if it was a very challenging first quarter, the next few months were great. It was a time where we were able to spend a lot of time together because you were a house
Doing husband duties, cooking for you, cleaning the house, doing the laundry.
Then towards the end of summer, we bought our first
car!
here. So yeah, after several months and years of pestering me to get a car, I finally relented and agreed.
And that was our most active summer and fall because we went to different places,
Yeah.
different hikes. We drove to New York during my birthday.
Yes, we were able to cross the border. Every weekend, we were someplace new, a small town, a street festival. So it was very, very nice to be able to, unwind together and explore this province. Thankfully, towards the end of it, it ended on a very good note.
Because I got my
Yeah, you
job
got a
offer
job.
finally after months of searching, like
I
10
think
months.
10 months of job search. It was incredible. Thankfully,
Frustrating.
at the end of it,
It worked out. So it started on a bad note, then ended on a
yeah.
good note. Yeah.
thankfully, the
Thanks,
universe gave us throw us a bone essentially and give us something good to celebrate towards the end of the year. So that was 2024, a very challenging year. Now we're gonna go to 2025, which is spring. Okay, so now we've made it to 2025, which we'd like to call
The spring of hope.
Wow. So there have been a lot of things that have happened in the past year, and we'd like to enter this year looking pretty hopeful, even if the world is looking like it's crumbling all around us. So what are your like feelings and thoughts? How's your mental state coming to 2025?
My mental state this year is way, way better than last year. I am in a very good place. I'm happy with it.
Like professionally
Yeah.
and personally.
Personally and professionally, I feel very supported. There are challenges, of course, but I'm very hopeful in overcoming those challenges because of the support that I'm receiving.
So, like I said in a previous vlog, the things that are happening around us are making us feel like there's nothing anymore that's in our control, but there's still a few.
Yeah, that we can do.
So we can focus on our work, on our hobbies, on our apartment, our dogs. And this year we took one big leap towards our immigration plans here. We actually filed our application for permanent residency in January, and we're now just waiting for the government or IRCC to draw us. We are just waiting for the points to come down. So hopefully, I firmly believe that we will get it this year. I am manifesting to the universe because this is our year of hope.
And
So-
there's the positive thing also is in the with the government, they're saying that they're focusing on people inside Canada.
inland Canada. So that's us. We're here. We've been working here for the past 2 to 3 years.
We're already part of the
We try to contribute a lot
Yeah,
to Canada.
society.
We integrate, we try to adapt with the culture here. We've been exploring a lot. We've been loving it, even if it's winter, and we've had enough of winter already, like most
As you can
Canadians.
see.
So, but yeah, I mean, even in this weather, as you can see, soon enough the sun will shine and the flowers will bloom and spring will come. So that's what we're hopeful for in the coming year. Yeah, so that's it. Thanks for
Joining us.
yeah, thanks for watching us in this 3-year recap of our adventure here in Canada. Hopefully, all of you have caught up now. You're all up to date. You've seen what happened in the past 3 years, and we're definitely gonna be uploading more. So yeah, anyway, thanks for tuning in. If you like this video, as usual, leave us a like, and if you like it a lot, maybe subscribe.
And leave us a comment down below if you have any questions about our journey and the challenges and hopes.
Of being an immigrant in Canada. So yeah, thank you, and see you in the next one.
Bye.